All right, I want to do something a little unusual right now, so I hope you bear with me. I want to play what we in this business call, well, it's called a sound bite. But here's the thing. We're not editing this bite. We're not cutting this bite. In fact, that really doesn't make it a bite. Because usually these little snippets that are called bites you see on TV, well, they're edited. They're cut. But not this time. Because I wanted to give this particular bite from this particular guy a little more time. Actually, the entire time he took to answer a very simple question. How New Jersey just lost a $400 million education grant due to, get this, a clerical mistake. Here now, Christie. We play. You decide.
Obviously, a clerical mistake was made. That's what it was. And I want you all to have some understanding of the scope of this issue. This is our Race to the Top application. The piece of paper that was included in error was one sheet of paper. In a over 1,000 page application, 300 pages of application, 700 pages of appendices, there was one piece of paper placed in error in that application. It asked for a comparison of 2008 to 2009 numbers. It was placed in there as a comparison between 2010 and 2011 numbers. One piece of paper. That is the responsibility of the Department of Education for having put the wrong piece of paper in. Now, I'm not going to fire somebody over this. This was a simple clerical error in putting together an application of this size. Am I happy about it? Of course not. The commissioner's not happy about it, and the folks who are responsible aren't happy about it either. But let's get to the next step then. When you're a reviewer in Washington, D.C., and you flip to that page in this application, and it says 08, 09 numbers are requested, and you see 10 and 11, if you're a normal, thinking, breathing human being, you pick up the phone and you say, hey, you sent this one wrong piece of paper. Can we get the information? Or if you're really concerned about what the information is, it's available on the Treasury website for 08, 09, and you could look it up yourself. But then we went even further when we went in for the personal interview 2 weeks before the decision was made, and they raised the issue with us. Commissioner Schundler verbally gave them the 08 and 09 numbers 2 weeks before the decision was made. And the 08, 09 comparison supports us getting the full number of points under that. This is the stuff, candidly, that drives people crazy about government and crazy about Washington. The first part of it is the mistake of putting the wrong piece of paper in. Drives people crazy, and believe me, I'm not thrilled about it. But the second part is, does anybody in Washington, D.C. have a lick of common sense? Pick up the phone and ask us for the number. When you look at how well this application scored, 51 points better than the Corzine administration application that was done in January, great scores on reforms, an incredible job done by the Department of Education, you're not going to grant the award to New Jersey because of a mistake, a clerical mistake on one piece of paper? I mean, that's the stuff that drives people nuts about government. And that's the stuff the Obama administration should answer for. You know, are you guys just down there checking boxes like mindless drones? Or are you thinking, because what you want to have happen is to have a firestorm of reform of our education system in New Jersey, which is necessary, and across the country? Obviously, the answer is they just want to check the boxes. Well, listen, we're the victim of that now. And our administration bears responsibility because we put the wrong piece of paper in. But the money that was supposed to be being spent on education was being spent on education and should have gotten us 5 points on that. The people of New Jersey paid for that. And when the president comes back to New Jersey, he's going to have to explain to the people of the state of New Jersey why he's depriving them of $400 million that this application earned them because one of his bureaucrats in Washington couldn't pick up the phone and ask a question, couldn't go on the internet and find information, or wouldn't accept the verbal representation from Commissioner Schundler when they were down there. So no, I'm not going to fire anybody over this. I'm not happy about it. I wish it would have been different. But in the end, can we all use a little common sense in an application of this size? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So we'll take the responsibility we need to take for putting one wrong piece of paper in a 1,000-page application. And I take that responsibility because I'm the governor. The commissioner takes that responsibility. But if you think for a minute I'm going to fire some mid-level person at DOE who is putting this application together because they put one wrong piece of paper in, then you don't know me. That person doesn't deserve that treatment. I'm not going to even give you the person's name because they don't deserve to be called out in that way. I'm taking responsibility. Commissioner Schungler's taking responsibility. And I am not going to allow anybody to be scapegoated over this. You want to take shots at me.
I wanted you guys to see that in its entirety. We didn't edit it because there was no screaming, no ranting, no raving, no yelling, no pontificating. I don't care if you're on the right or the left. Things have gotten so bad now where a state fills out a 1,000-page application to try to get a government grant, does all the right things except a single page that could have been resolved with a simple phone call or follow-up inquiry. And the states have $400 million that it richly deserves from a federal government for whom it did everything right, minus one administrative detail. Again, I don't care if you're on the right or the left, whether you're a red state person or a blue state person, that should have you seeing green, because that is asinine.